when people really want to change, they want a process. Number 1 is the Lean Dad Blueprint. Number 2 is the Fit Dad Formula. And number 3 is the Motivation Maximizer. When you're in bed, someone else is out there making more money than you. Someone else is out there working on their mindset, working on their body, and you're sleeping. If people do not want what you're selling, it's because you haven't got a good offer. Make a good offer. Give them 50% off your product. And you think, oh, but I'm losing money. It doesn't matter. Focus on the longer term vision of keeping them as a client. Have a date night, because you need to set some time aside and treat it like you just met. Get rid of the kids if they're young, at least once a week for a whole day or overnight. Please take some time for yourself. Don't forget that sex feels good.
I feel the biggest pain when I see people who cannot find their place under the sun. Unmotivated, sad, and desperate people. Business owners, entrepreneurs, suffering from burnout, stress, and boredom, and no time for their family. My biggest goal is to help them realize that this world provides enough opportunities for everybody. I managed to help thousands of people, but I strongly believe that we can do so much more if we unite our knowledge and skills. And this is the reason I started doing interviews with the best visionaries and world changers. Their inspiring personal and success stories are a proof that everything is possible. All you have to do is listen and learn. Together, we can change our lives and the future of this world. Hi everybody, this is Warrior Family and my name is Smillion Mori and welcome to my show. You are all here because you believe you can live the life worth living. But in order to do this, you have to do something about it. And my goal with this show is to bring you, my guests, their beliefs, their habits, their hacks, internet, sales, marketing, and other strategies that can help you become a better person, a better father, mother, dad, and live the life worth living. And today, I have a special guest, Stefano Chiriaco.
Correct.
Yeah. Stefano, he helps hardworking dads to transform their health, energy, and body confidence within 90 days. Previously, Great Britain's official personal trainer of the year, Sky TV presenter, actor, and ambassador of USN between 2009 and 2011. He is the host of the weekly podcast called Dad Transformation Secrets.
Yeah.
Welcome, Stefano, to my show.
Here. Thank you very much.
How is the role of being a dad special for you?
Wow, nothing can prepare you for it.
Yeah,
you see.
No school for that.
There's no school, and I wasn't really around a lot of kids growing up.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a complete shock. But it's an amazing responsibility. It's an opportunity to make right maybe the things that our parents didn't do. You know, to constantly evolve ourselves and to evolve our children to be better than we are. So that's kind of how I see my role. As long as they eat well, they're educated, they're good people, and they're successful and happy, then I'll be happy as a dad.
Yeah, I like the name of your show, The Dad Transformation Secrets.
So that's a new show that I've just launched on YouTube, and I have my Ultimate Dad Transformation podcast as well. So I'm doing many things at the moment, just getting the message out there to help as many dads as possible.
So can you share something or some event from your childhood that made who you are today? Can be maybe painful.
Wow. Well, how far back do we need to go? Can it be a
as
significant
far as
event?
you can.
You know what? Something strange about me is I don't remember a lot of my childhood, only the traumatic experiences.
So yeah, that's what is interesting.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I would have liked to remember more of the positive experiences, but I think I kind of...
Yeah, usually we remember negative experiences more.
Yeah.
That's my experience from when I speak to people, when I talk to people.
For me, when I was young, I guess I haven't spoken about this before, so this is quite interesting maybe for some people. I was bullied in school. and don't know where this is coming from, but you asked the question. And I found that kind of, as an older man now, understanding my childhood, it's basically I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. And that authority figure that he was, very domineering, made me feel very weak, very powerless as a child. And when I was confronted in maybe confrontational scenarios, it would be almost like I was up against him and I couldn't really defend or take care of myself. So that was actually something which had a negative effect in my life, made me lack a lot of confidence. And you know, you might see me now on camera. I mentor people. I'm successful. I'm happy, married. But that's something I've had to work at because it's not something which came naturally to me. So it's a process. You know, for me, getting older is a process of overcoming your challenges when you're young, and hopefully being in a better place when you're older, balancing yourself out, improving yourself. And I think that's given me a love for self-development. And it also inspired me to become big and strong. So one of my idols was Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course.
I can see.
Yeah. I was a lot bigger before, but I really idolized him as this strong man who was successful, who could take care of himself, who was loved. And, you know, aside from the physical aspect of things, I think for me it was about getting approval. It was about being loved by people because I didn't necessarily feel the love I needed to get from my dad. So that's why I became Mr. Muscle, Mr. Fit, Mr. Athletic. It's what created my personal training career. It's what's got me to here, in this point in my life now. And at the peak of my career, when I was Great Britain's official personal trainer of the year, and I had my own TV show, and I had fan mail, and I was on TV, I had a lot of success at that time, I basically quit. I gave my TV show to a friend, and I actually gave up my sponsorship. I completely quit the fitness industry at the peak because I felt like a fraud. Yeah, my identity was built around how I looked, my finances, maybe even the pretty girl on my arm. That's who I was then. So it was all fake. I didn't really know who I was. I had a lot of unresolved issues from my childhood, of lack of self-worth, lack of approval. And I had to work through that. So that's kind of what got me into acting. So I had to kind of look inside to find who I was. And now I'm back as a dad's transformation coach. And I was never able to have a long-term relationship with a woman at this point. Now I'm in a long-term relationship for almost 6 years. I'm married. I've got 2 kids. Now I value who I am. Now I'm able to provide value to others because I know what it's like to doubt yourself. I know what it's like to feel like you're not good enough. I know what it's like to put yourself down constantly and what it really takes to overcome that. And I guess we'll get into this a bit more, but I believe that we define who we are and the quality of our lives. And a lot of my clients come to me for weight loss, but if a dad's overweight and they're unhappy, you know, they're not taking care of themselves, it's usually something deeper inside, which is causing the manifestation outside.
Absolutely.
And I understand that. I understand that mindset is so important because I would constantly sabotage my success in life because of my lack of belief, lack of self-worth, lack of clarity, lack of tools to manage my state. So that's what got me into the mindset stuff, which is now merged with the physical stuff.
Physical, yeah.
And that's what's created my unique brand, which is the ultimate dad transformation, mind, body, soul.
And I think that it creates more value for dads outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I jumped a little bit around there, but I have so many stories inside. It's just like sometimes they come out all at the same time. But thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, we have similar childhood. I also didn't get this love from my dad, but because of that, I became who I am today. I achieved so many great things, but I was constantly pushing myself, pushing. And even if you achieve some level of success, you are not happy, as you said.
That's right. It's like no matter how far I would get, it was never enough.
But you mentioned like you didn't feel you didn't have this feeling of self-worth and this issue of self-esteem, and you are not alone, and I'm not alone, and we are not alone, and it's a huge privilege to have you on show, to be so open, because there are men listening outside. There are young men. They don't have anybody to talk with. They don't have anybody to share their feelings. And I see this is the big problem in the society with men. They don't share their pain.
It's interesting because when my son was born, and he had a traumatic birth, and he ended up in intensive care, and I thought that he was going to pass away. It was a very scary time. And I was sitting next to my wife, and I was actually crying. And the doctor came over to me, and I was expecting him to tell me something about my son. He put his hand on my shoulder, and he congratulated me for crying. And he said that that's not something that you see men do. And I want to say, it's quite incredible to see someone like you let their feelings show. And I guess maybe he thought that was a positive way for me to go through that experience. So that was just an interesting comment, which is very true. I've experienced that. And I probably wouldn't be able to be vulnerable as I am right now had I not exposed myself on stages and go through my acting training, which actually helped me to open up as a person.
To open up, yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you different today as a dad because of this experience in your childhood?
It's always a struggle because, things happen to you in life and you can say, I'm not going to be like that. Yeah. I'm going to be better than that. But sometimes they also drag you down and they drag you back because that's what you went through. And you don't want to repeat the same mistakes that your parents made. But when it's inside of you, it's something you need to work on. And I believe that many people do not take responsibility for their challenges and deal with their issues. Because if you do not deal with your issues, you're going to pass them on to your kids. So sorry if that offends anybody, but that's just my experience. So I have that battle of the dad I want to be, and I also have the battle of being a dad with a stressful life and the struggles that brings, and having a relationship and finances
and business
and everything else. And also I battle with how I was raised. And I look at that and say, I don't want that to happen to my children. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but that just gives me more motivation to work on myself and become a better person for them and also for the people that I serve, because sharing my journey and my experiences, it's real. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know or haven't gone through.
Real and raw.
Yeah, otherwise you're just fake. And although I have a business, I would never be comfortable making money from something I didn't believe in, wasn't passionate about. And I think that's why, in fact, when I became overweight as a dad, it gave me some of the greatest insights into my clients' minds and what it actually takes to help them. Because I'm not some guy on Instagram who's always been ripped and was born that way, who doesn't understand how people really feel, why they get there. But I believe that's helped me to communicate my message and make a real impact in the world, and we have. In less than 2 years, we've transformed thousands of lives through challenges, probably more than 5,000, 6,000 people now.
Wow.
Through paid programs, about maybe 200 to 300 people at a higher level service, and generated probably more than £250,000 in 19 months.
Wow.
That's not bad for a startup.
Absolutely.
But then again, it just comes down to solving a real problem in the marketplace at the end of the day.
The real issue, the real pain.
Yeah. I've never told anybody that before, by the way, but yeah. I guess people understand success and finances, so that maybe will help them to understand.
It's good because the people that are watching the show, they want to start their business.
Great.
And they don't have any idea what to do. And what you did, you actually created something from your pain.
Absolutely. If anyone wants to start a business, my top advice for that, if we want to talk about that, if it helps your audience, is find a problem out in the marketplace, niche down at least 3 layers deep, and then put yourself out there. And do not try to be perfect, because my course now is much, much better than the initial course I sold. My marketing now is much better. My videos now are much better. I look back at them now, like, oh God, I can't believe I put that out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I got started.
That is how it is.
Yeah. And I was probably one of the first guys in the UK to do what I'm doing. But I believe that's given me a competitive advantage over other people that are now trying to model me. I've had people copy my advertising campaigns. I've had people try to copy my messaging. I don't let it bother me. No. We were first.
Wow.
So
that's great advice for somebody that wants to start a business.
yeah, take action.
Yeah.
Throw some hooks out. See what people are interested in, and that will give you kind of an indicator of whether or not people want it. If you can validate your offer, essentially, and someone pays you for that, even if it's just a few people, even if you start with your warm audience, your friends, your colleagues, that validates the idea that people are willing to pay for that. Then you can go and create something to help more people. Yeah.
So literally you work with clients that want to lose weight, like get more energy. But when they enter your door because of this reason, what do you find out?
Well, when I really have a deep conversation with them, it's usually not just about the weight loss. In fact, no one really cares about the weight loss. It's what the weight loss will give them. You know, why do you want to lose weight? I say, well, because I'm not happy. Right, that's great. So what about your appearance or your energy or your life right now is making you unhappy? Well, it may be a lack of intimacy in their relationship. It may be that they go to school and they're embarrassed when other kids see their dad. They don't want their child to be bullied, right? I mean, these are real issues. It may be people making fun of you at work. Maybe people not respecting you enough because you don't take care of yourself. It could be that, you know, some people are genuinely worried about not being around to see their kids grow up. So these are the real issues, the real human emotions that people have, and they need help to solve that problem. It's a real need. So no one's ever going to hire a coach to give them a real transformation and a significant service for just to lose a few pounds. You can buy a book on Instagram for that for £10. Like, it's information is useless. People actually need help. So it's about how can you serve your audience. So for us, it's all about implementation. So we give them the credible knowledge, because unfortunately a lot of the information given out by the NHS, by doctors, by health experts isn't actually useful, in my opinion. You know, for example, the 5 pieces of fruit and veg per day. And people are loading up on bananas and oranges all day, thinking it's healthy, or have the big meal, and then let me have some fruit as well. And, you know, that alone, cereal isn't real food. It's processed. You know, brown bread being healthier than white bread? No. One piece of brown bread boosts your blood sugar as much as a banana. Now, is fruit healthy? Yes, it is. It's nutrient-packed, but it's also sugar-packed. So you have to be intelligent about when you consume certain things. Maybe around a workout, fruit's going to be better, right? So people need to be informed about what real nutrition is, what real food is. And unfortunately, because of lack of time, because people opt in for convenience, because dads are busy, working all day long, it's a tough situation. And we're always under a constant level of stress. No organism is designed to live under constant stress. So all these factors, and not sleeping enough and not taking care of yourself, we're just living a poor quality of life. And for me, it's, you know, it's about the future. You know, you might be okay now. You take your health for granted now. But what's the quality of your life going to be like when you're 80? Because we're going to be living till we're 80, 90, 100 now, right?
Yeah.
So at 90 years old, if you're taking medication and you've got health problems and you can't even get up, and you have to spend 20 years of your life like that, it's a scary thought. But you need to take care of yourself now before it's too late.
You can take care of your kids.
Yeah. And also when they move on, you know, if you're married, what quality of relationship are you going to have? That's the time for you to enjoy your life as well. And being a parent's hard, isn't it? You know, you have to take care of them. You've got to put them first in a lot of ways. You know, my wife and I used to go to the cinema all the time. We don't do that anymore now because, we need a babysitter. Oh, they're cancelled. Or so life is more challenging. So you've got to take care of yourself now so you can enjoy life later on.
You brought up an interesting topic. So you have 2 kids, 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Marco and
Dominic.
And beautiful wife, and a startup business, let's say so. How do you balance these roles, being a father, husband, business owner, and you have to take care of yourself too? I think that like these are 4 dimensions, 4 roles, at least, that we have to play as a man.
Yeah.
But you know, when you were single, you just have had this role of having a great body.
That's right.
You lived one-dimensional life. I like to say, like. I
did. When I was younger, when I was at my prime, you could say. I'm not too bad now, I feel, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was all about me. So of course it's easier. I can go and spend hours in the gym every day if I wanted to. In fact, I did live in a gym. I worked in a gym. So it was easy to train every single day. But when you've got a family, it's very, very difficult to juggle all these things. Work's always taking over. Work's always fighting to... Now, I'm passionate about what I do. Yeah. I gave up a very successful bootcamp business to become an online coach. Right? I took a risk. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I went all in with Ultimate Dad because I had a vision. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to be home. I wanted to be able to maybe move to the sea and work abroad, right? And because I'm passionate about it, I actually work harder now than what I did then. So sometimes I finish at 9 o'clock at night. So it's always a battle, but I think the most important thing as an entrepreneur and a business person is to have a schedule. And do not just schedule your business, schedule your personal development, schedule your family time, schedule your meditation time, schedule your workout time, and try and create habits. So now I literally get up every day and I do something.
When do you get up?
Sometimes 5:30, sometimes 5 a.m. I go to the gym. The first thing I do is I meditate. So I have to meditate, yeah. If I don't do that, I'm a freak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The day is not the same.
No. I just basically get uptight, I get tense, I get snappy. It affects my business, my marriage, everything.
Do you use any special app for meditation or just...
I used to use Calm.
Calm. I use Calm too.
Calm's good. Yeah. It's got a lot of programs on there.
Yeah, different.
But I find just breathing and just being present helps. That's it.
Okay.
And then I just say 3 things that I'm grateful for. Because it's important to train yourself to appreciate and be grateful. And I want to say right now, thank you for this interview as well.
Thank you.
I'm grateful to you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. And after I've done that, I think about my mantras. There's a lot of things out there talking about, do they work, they don't work, they do work.
They work for you.
What's that?
They work for you.
I don't see it as deluding myself. I see a mantra as a point of focus. If I wake up every day and say, I'm willing to do what it takes to be successful, and I focus on that, then it's not going to stick. I have to do that every day. Yeah. Like Tony Robbins says, it's training for the mind. How many reps do you have to do on your bicep to build up your bicep? So it's mental training, right? So then I make my family a breakfast. I make them a healthy juice, mostly vegetables, a little bit of fruit, some protein. The whole family gets some greens in. My wife is very fussy when it comes to food, so at least I get some vegetables in, and it beats the kids having Cocoa Pops in the morning, because I don't want them to eat that. So I've taken over. And then I go and do my training. I get myself moving, I get focused, I get motivated, I feel good, and then I attack my day. And it's just about focusing on growth, focusing on activities which create connection, revenue, move my business forward, some self-development, reading, courses, phone calls with clients, helping clients. That's my day. That's how I live every single day. And weekends, it's just all about family. So, you know, I work late in the week. It's not something you should always do, but I say to my wife, because I work from home, she's got to respect that because I'm home doesn't mean I'm available.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're very close. And it's difficult not to engage with her when she's around because she's so lovely. But she does respect me and she's very supportive. And you know what? I want to say to her, if she watches this later on and to everybody else, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. Because she's given me the time to invest in myself and my business to be successful. Without her supporting me, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm very grateful to my wife to actually take the burden share of the kids during the week and provide food for our family. She doesn't work at the moment, but her job is full-time, and it's very important.
Full-time mother.
Yeah.
It's a responsible job.
Yeah. And I bounce a lot of ideas off her. And she's not an entrepreneur, she's not a business person, but she's just someone that I have a lot of respect for. And I'll give her a few ideas, and she'll usually say, yeah, that one sounds good. And that's good enough for me.
What about the rituals for marriage? Do you have something now that, you know, keeps your marriage passionate? You have 2 kids, 2 and 4. You're busy.
I'm going to talk about something.
You can get lost in this jungle.
I'm going to talk about something, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody else, but again, we're open, we're vulnerable here, right? Let's talk about stuff. Apart from date night, because that's very important, have a date night, because you need to set some time aside and treat it like you just met. I mean, if you just met your wife and you wanted to take her out on a date and impress her and get her to see you again, how would you act compared to someone who you know is going to be there whether you like it or not? The big difference in the mindset. Number 2 is get rid of the kids, if they're young, at least once a week for a whole day or overnight. Please take some time for yourself. And number 3, don't forget that sex feels good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of us get overwhelmed and get stressed out, and we think we have to be in the mood, and we have to, all the ducks have to align, and the stars have to align, and you forget about doing that. I was listening to something on TED today.
I agree.
Yeah. But if you actually just do it, right, then it's like, oh, actually, I enjoy this. And that's very, very important because you need to have that physical connection. Otherwise, it's just about being a parent. There was on TEDx, I heard that over 50% of married guys in this examination they did were dissatisfied with their sex life.
I think even more.
Yeah, even more.
The one that I'm speaking to,
yeah,
90% of them.
Yeah, wow.
I think that the finance stuff is the #1 issue for the divorce, but
yes.
I think it starts with sex.
Yeah. Well, apparently those are the two things.
Of intimacy.
Yeah.
I like to ask guys, like, how many times per week do you have this act with your wife?
Yeah.
And they go, like, first of all, they're, like, surprised because I can ask this. Then they go, probably 2 to 3 times.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either. Yeah, 2 or 3, it's a huge difference. It's like it's like 4 times more a month.
Yeah.
So you have to track.
Yeah.
You have to literally track.
Literally, for us, it's up and down all the time, depending on what's going on. I mean, I try to, when things are a little bit samey, when you get into a routine, I do something spontaneous. So I decided to book us a 4-day trip to Rome on my birthday this month. So we're going to spend 4 days alone without the kids. And these things are really important.
Yeah,
you know, you've got to keep the marriage going because, again, when the kids grow up and they're gone, you're going to be left with your wife. So if there's no relationship there, and for me, you know, it's all about having a high standard for your life. I'm not going to spend my life that I only get to live once in a dead, sexless, you know, lacking passion type
divorced
marriage. Right? Why stay there and be miserable just because you have kids? All right. If I had to leave one day, I would still support my kids fully, and my wife would be a good friend to me. That probably never happen because we're in a really good place, and if we're not, we work at it. But I'm just saying, some people have to go through that, and that's okay as well, because it's your life. You've got to take care of yourself, you know? So I often make this example, you know, if a plane's going down, who'd you put the oxygen mask on first?
Yourself.
So you've got to take care of yourself, and sometimes if you're in a situation when you're not the best possible version of yourself and you're not helping the people around you, then maybe things need to change. Either work at it or change your situation. I like to work at things. And that would be the last straw. But yeah.
Yeah. What about guys? Do they open
My
up?
point is, don't struggle. Don't just be unhappy in your marriage. You know, do something about it. Yeah.
The guys, do they open up when they speak with you, like the kind of sedations that they are in? I see many guys are.
Some people
they
will.
have some addictions like porn,
Wow.
alcohol.
I've spoken about drugs with people, alcohol, anxiety, depression, a lot of things, but never porn.
You, next time when you meet guys, ask them. You will be amazed.
I'll have to put that on my website.
Yeah, you put.
You watch too much porn? You need to work with me.
This is a big issue.
Yeah. They mentioned that actually
It's
today.
everywhere.
On the TEDx talk that came up as well, actually.
Yeah.
It's a side note, I guess we're just riffing here, but apparently it's teaching young men bad values about what intimacy is in a relationship. Oh, I thought that was very interesting. Yeah. That was very, very interesting.
So, if I get into your program, what is the first step that you...
Right. So it's interesting. I actually recreated my branding and stuff online recently to show people my method. A lot of coaches basically just sell calorie counting and reps.
Yeah, you hate this.
Yeah. It's like, who cares about that? You can get that anyway. You can go and look up for yourself for a workout on YouTube, all this, that. When people really want to change, they want a process. And we have a process. It's actually made up of 3 core elements. Number 1 is the Lean Dad Blueprint. Number 2 is the Fit Dad Formula. And number 3 is the Motivation Maximizer. And we couple this system with mentorship, accountability, and the last one was, oh God, it slips my mind. Mentorship.
Maybe Facebook groups? Network.
Community.
Community.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You knew already.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our system. Now, one of the first things that we do from a nutritional perspective is we get our dads to eat real food. Now, that is very, very important because we kind of touched on it before. People are eating food like substances. You know, things which aren't real. Your processed foods, snack bars, cereals. Orange juice is processed. I mean, if you had an orange, you'd eat an orange. You have a glass of orange juice, you may be having 10 oranges, right? If you cooked yourself, let's say, a steak and a sweet potato, you know what's in that. You buy it in a package, it's got a whole load of things there that you wouldn't even put in your food. Preservatives, E-numbers, excess salts, added sugars, all sorts of chemicals, because we like our food to look fresh until we eat it, right? It's our fault, maybe. But that's one of the first things you need to do, because by eating real food, I say just eat real food, just, yeah. You're automatically going to get rid of E-numbers, preservatives, added sugars, added salts. So it's an automatic way of being healthier without counting calories, without even trying, right? And that's your baseline. That's what you have to establish first. Because if you don't have a solid foundation, it doesn't make sense to do anything else. There's no point counting calories to lose weight and then living on protein shakes, right?
Absolutely.
You know, you could have a low-calorie shake, let's say, but it could be high sugar. It's high chemical. It's high processed, right? So it's not necessarily healthy. And that's the problem. When you lose weight fast or when you use unsustainable approaches, it's going to come back on and some more. And it could actually damage your ability to lose weight in the future because a very low-calorie diet will lower your metabolism. You'll lose muscle mass as well. So these approaches do not work, and people know that already. So it's all about having a balanced foundation which is based in real which you and your whole family can benefit from. And that means getting up early or staying up late and preparing stuff in advance. Sometimes people say, I don't have time for that. Well, how much is your health worth to you? Yeah. I say, don't make excuses.
Time.
Yeah. All that means is I don't value that enough right now because I don't maybe understand the benefit of doing it. Therefore, I don't have time, which is an excuse.
And I have to get sick first.
Yeah.
Start to value.
Let me have problems first, and then I'll sort myself out. You know what they say to cancer patients?
Well,
eat real food.
This is the first step.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what, the second
Number
step?
2,
yeah.
So it's actually a 5-point system, 5 R's. First one is real. The second one is reset. Now this is all about insulin. You probably know about that, right? So it's all about improving your insulin response. If you produce a lot of insulin, insulin stops you burning fat, insulin promotes weight gain. Great if you want to build muscle, but not for someone who wants to lose weight. So we actually improve people's insulin response, right? Reducing the amount of foods which trigger an insulin response. Therefore, they have more stable blood sugars, they store less fat, and they're able to start burning more fat by increasing their fat consumption. Now, I don't believe that the ketogenic diet, for me, is the way forward, because it's around 70% fat in your diet, right? It's actually shown that you will lose muscle mass, and then they get you to starve yourself when it plateaus out with intermittent fasting, which, again, I don't believe is the sustainable way to lose weight, because by starving yourself, it actually makes it harder to lose weight, because your body will work against that. That's how we're designed as people. Right? We're designed to hold on to our fat stores when food isn't in abundance. That doesn't make sense to me, right? And actually, you can develop insulin resistance on the ketogenic diet, which is a bigger problem, right? And I think Sky just said that it increases your risk of diabetes as well. It was an interesting article. So, but we do want to reduce the amount of insulin we produce, right? Insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity are 2 different subjects. This is very important. Number 3 is all about, I call it the rotation. So most people adapt and plateau on a diet. They'll stick to one strategy and they'll simply just keep eating less and less and less food to lose more weight. Doesn't make sense. So what we do is we actually do the opposite. We actually have days where we eat a lot more food. We do the opposite of what everyone else does, enhancing our metabolic rate, right? By shifting out of the diet, you can recreate the weight loss cycle again. Does that make sense? Yeah. When you first go on a diet, it comes off quick. Yeah. So why not recreate that constantly by breaking your diet to then lose more weight? So this is a unique system called the anti-plateau method we use. So you don't have to count calories. As long as your high-calorie days are higher than your lower restricted days, it fixes the problem.
So how do you cycle? Like one day, one?
So we do different things on the program. We initially start with every 7th day we break the diet, then we move into every 4th day.
Okay.
So we rotate it around.
Okay, yeah,
And I'm not talking about doing a cheat day, because a cheat day just ruins all your hard work, right? I'm talking about doing it strategically, right? So we do that, and then we start focusing on nutrient timing. Now, a lot of people talk to me about, when should you eat carbs? Should you eat them before bed? Other people say you can have them at any time of day you want. I say treat food for what it is. What is a carbohydrate in your opinion? What would you say it's?
Source of energy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's what it is. It's energy. Yeah. So if we focus on energy-rich foods around the times where we're going to be more active, that makes sense, right? It's common sense. And not so energy-rich foods, we're going to be less active. So why would you have an energy-rich meal before going to bed?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, even though it's within your daily calories. It doesn't make sense. So I believe that you need to look at food for what food is. If you need energy, eat energy-rich foods around the time you need to be energetic. For the rest of the day, maintain a low blood sugar. Focus on fats, focus on proteins. That's the 4th step, right? And then from there, we go into retain, which is the sustainable plan. At this point, they've been training with resistance-based methods. They've increased their metabolism, they've increased their muscle mass, they've increased their insulin sensitivity because resistance helps with that. They're utilizing their foods more effectively without storing them as fat. Therefore, they can follow a more balanced diet and maintain the weight they've lost. My clients are losing between 10 and 20 kilos in 90 days. Eating 5 meals a day, eating fats, which we're told not to do, not starving themselves, not taking any supplements, training 3 times a week for 30 minutes.
That's it.
That's it. So, you know, anyone can get you results. You know, I could say to you, Smillion, go to the gym 6 days a week, eat protein,
and eat
have
nothing.
shakes. You'll get results.
Yeah.
But can you keep
for
it?
how long? It's not sustainable.
Will you like your life?
No, probably not.
You'll hate your life because you'll feel terrible.
You're starving.
Yeah, so that's not a good coach. What people need is a real system that actually works, something which fits in around their busy lifestyle, and also implementation. Like if you could exercise 3 days a week for 30 minutes consistently, every week for 12 weeks, that's much better than you doing 5 days a week and lasting 2 weeks.
Absolutely, I agree.
So that's essentially our system. So of course we didn't talk about the other stuff, but that's just one element of what makes up the UDT method. And this is what I used to lose weight myself, to transform myself, and I created this system to help other dads, which is fantastic. We're getting results every single day on this.
Okay, it's not only for dads?
It's only for dads.
Only for dads. You must have a baby or child, a kid.
If you're not a dad, you can't hire me to work with you.
Welcome to your program.
No.
That's really niching down.
Yeah.
Interesting. You have to have a lot of power to decide that you are going to work only with dads.
Well, here's the thing.
It's like choose who you will lose.
To attract people, you have to also repel people.
Yeah.
That's very important in business, I believe, as a coach especially. But also, the market is saturated. If you're a local personal trainer who trains everybody, you need to have that mentality because you maybe only have 10 or 20,000 people around you that could possibly become a client, and most of them will never be, maybe 1% or less, right? So to go online with that mentality, it doesn't make sense because you try to attract everyone and be everything to everybody, you're nothing to everybody. So with the power of internet marketing now, I can now choose who I want to show my message to. So I've chosen to specialize in dads. Now obviously if I did that locally, it wouldn't be much business. But going online, there's millions of people. Now you have a much bigger audience and you can penetrate the marketplace. How many body transformation plans and ripped guys and get a six-pack in 4 weeks have you seen online? People are sick of these messages.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a dad like them who knows how to help them. I'll offer them some value. I'll get them results. They'll either want to hire me or they won't. And that's great. That's it.
Great. What are the biggest unproductive habits that you see all those dads, in all those dads are maybe we as entrepreneur are under the radar every day?
Entrepreneurs or dads?
They are not entrepreneurs. Most of them are just dads or entrepreneurs.
Some of them are.
Some of them are, okay.
Yeah, but my clients range from all over.
Yeah, so what are most unproductive habits of entrepreneurs?
Entrepreneurs, right. Well, getting up late.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple.
Me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah. It's silly because, you know, if you have a load of things to do and you get up late and you're basically waking up stressed, you're on the back foot for the rest of the day. You're in a state of anxiety and overwhelm because you're catching up, right? You got to get up before everyone else. When you're in bed, someone else is out there making more money than you. Someone else is out there working on their mindset, working on their body, and you're sleeping. Yeah. Instead of trying to make a business where you only have to work a few hours a day, make a business where you want to work all day because you love it, and that is who you are, and you're just taking relentless action. That's how you become successful. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Like they create this business and then they don't want to work in it anymore. It's like, fine, if you want to outsource it, if that's the business model, fine, but do something you're passionate about. So, and get up in the morning and look forward to your day, not, oh, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. Like you said,
and meditate and exercise.
Yeah, so don't get up late. Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
When do you go to bed, usually? If you wake up at 5, you have to go at least at 10.
10.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
7 hours of sleep is enough?
It's enough. Around 7 to 8 hours of sleep for me is fine. Sometimes it's a challenge because I have an extremely annoying neighbor who, if you're watching this, I hate you. No, seriously.
Neighbor.
Someone that's upstairs that makes some noise sometimes. But apart from that, yeah, it's not a problem. Get to bed on time. The kids are in a routine. They're in bed usually by about 6. So they get up early, so we need to go to bed early so we can get up. And if we wake up and they're shouting and screaming or joking, it's fine because, like, I'm ready. But if you're still wanting to sleep because you went to bed at 1, it's a nightmare. You can't do that. Yeah.
What is the biggest struggle that you're facing right now in the business?
Right. So I'll share this because your audience is entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Now, when I first started Ultimate Dad, it was just my core 12-week transformation. There was no follow-on products. So essentially, every single month, I was starting at 0. And from a financial perspective, that's not great because there's nothing to guarantee that someone won't shut down your account, advertising account. There's nothing to guarantee that someone releases something and you're out of business overnight. There's nothing to guarantee that you're not going to be in the same place you were when you're making money. So much can happen. There's no guarantee. So if you are starting a business now, I would highly recommend doing a reoccurring business model because that's a stress-free life. When you have people that pay you every single month, of course you're delivering a lot of value for that, so they stay, but that is going to probably be one of the best business models. If I redid my business, I would basically make it as this is the monthly subscription and you just keep staying, and I'd make just one program. Right now I have a couple of programs. I make 60% of my income now in reoccurring revenue,
wow,
which is great.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is just an additional sell, so it's a lot less stress now. You know, I know I've got something coming in every month, significant enough to cover most of my expenses.
Very good piece of advice.
Yeah, in fact, the only reason I need to generate more sales is just to pay my VAT now, because everything else is covered.
Yeah,
so that's not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, that is a good problem.
Yeah. So that's what I recommend you should do. You know, if you don't have a recurring business model built in, then you need to wise up and get that done because that's what's going to save your business. Also, build communities, build assets. If you don't have a community, you may not have a business tomorrow. If you have a quiet month, you can rely on your community because you have business there that know, like, and trust you. You know, I just did a sale because it's my birthday this month, right? And I generated an extra 30 clients in 7 days off my warm list and off my groups in a quiet month. Now, it's all about strategy. I know a lot of people will say it's summer, no one's interested in buying. I've got 5 calls tonight with new people and 5 calls tomorrow night in probably the worst month of the year.
Summer, yeah.
So again, it's just down to, you know, I used to tell myself, oh, it's Christmas, no one's going to want to sign up. I had clients last year, 20 clients or so, signing up over Christmas.
That's the good time to sign them up.
Great, because you can either be in the mindset that I'll start in January, or you can just see this as that's just another excuse holding you back. Because if you're thinking about doing it right now, you need to actually put yourself in a position where you're going to have to do it. And then you actually come into the new year being a better version of yourself, not I'm overweight, I'm stressed, let me do a fad diet so I can lose a stone in the next 2 weeks, and then I'll put it all back on again, you know?
Yeah.
So it's all mindset, it's all strategy, you know, and have those communities, build up your email list, build up assets in your business, content that you put out there, turn them into blogs, videos that you make, turn them into blogs. Don't just do Facebook Lives, which will never be seen again. Create stuff that you can put on your YouTube channel there, and then someone comes along that doesn't know you, you've got all this stuff that you've done for the last year, which shows you as an authority in your marketplace, right?
You gave so many advice for the personal training industry right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any piece of advice that you would like to share with struggling personal trainers?
I've got a massive one.
That are struggling one-on-one.
I've got a massive one.
Charge per hour.
Right, okay. Well, I'm going to share 2 things.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, if you're doing one-to-one, if you're happy to work with people one-to-one because it gives you value and you understand that there will be an income cap, then that's fine. Not everyone has to be rich. Not everyone has to be a millionaire. Sometimes people are better off working for someone else, not being the big kahuna. Just knowing what you want to do and what makes you happy. But if you want to have more of a leveraged income, it's all about scalability. That's how you make money in business. So you either have to create something where you do one-to-many, right, like a group program, and then scale your services up, and then charge more money for your one-to-one. That probably is where things are going now, right? Because people can get that group experience with you, and then if they want more of you, then they can work at a higher level with you on a one-to-one basis. But if you're just giving away first class to everybody and not charging enough money, and there's no ascension in your business, then you're going to burn out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be stressed out. So I wouldn't do that. And if you're struggling to make money as a personal trainer, then your problem is that your offer sucks.
Mm-hmm. Great.
That's it. If people do not want what you're selling, it's because you haven't got a good offer. A good offer trumps bad marketing. It trumps how good you are on camera. It doesn't matter. If you make an amazing offer to someone, something which is truly irresistible, then you will win. It's as simple as that. If you think that you're just going to say to someone on an advert, hey, come work with me for a free session, and then you'll sign up and give me loads of money, and that's great, and book in a free call so I can sell you something. No. My one-to-one funnel, I give away my online program for free. If you become a client, you automatically get my online program and my follow-on programs if I work with you in person.
It's adding value.
So they're getting massive value because that's a standalone product that people pay for without the one-to-one. I actually just give it to them because you're my client and you're not going to get that anywhere else. And then they see the results. Whoa, I want that. I get that as well. How do I sign up?
Yeah.
All right? Make a good offer. Why do you think that if someone does a webinar and you get to the end and you say, hey, here's all this value, and if you want to work with me, it's £997, and this is the course, let me know. Or jump on a call. People know that you're going to try and sell them something, right? Make an amazing offer. Give them 50% off your product, right? And you think, oh, but I'm losing money. It doesn't matter. Focus on the longer term vision of keeping them as a client, because you get them in now, but if you do a good job, they're going to stay with you. There's more money to be made. Don't just think about the upfront money you're going to make here and now and just take your money and run. That's it. You want to build relationships with people. So get them to become a paying client.
Great. Thank you for this advice. I think that the guys that are watching this, they will love it.
Yeah.
I have many personal trainers in my region that I know that are struggling.
I'll give another tip.
Yeah.
Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, is an amazing guy. I picked up one cool thing from him, actually. If you can acquire a customer at break even, then essentially your marketing is free. Isn't that an interesting concept? Mm-hmm. So instead of spending thousands in adverts, if you could spend thousands and actually have people buy something at a lower investment, but it covers your advertising costs, you're building your email list and you're acquiring a paying customer, not just the freebie, right? And it's not costing you anything to put yourself out there. That's very intelligent, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Excellent. Where can we find more information about you and your programs?
Okay, cool. If you want to find out more about me, just to Google my name, Stefano Chiriaco, and obviously Ultimate Dad Transformation. Yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
And any plans for the future?
Plans for the future for me are doing in-person events, possibly doing kind of a summit as well. You know, maybe I'd like to have you on there, by the way.
Wow, thank you very much.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And you'll be my first guest.
Yeah.
How's that?
Thank you. Yeah.
Deal?
Great.
Okay, good.
Let's make a deal.
And that's kind of where it's going right now. Things change all the time. I was thinking about doing a dad's boot camp, but I've changed my mind. I don't really want to do that. You know, who knows? Writing a book for sure as well. But right now I'm just testing new marketing strategies, new front-end offers, and just seeing what the market likes. Also, Facebook have changed their targeting options, right? As you know. So I'm playing around with my audiences and targeting a lot over the last 2 months to see how I can get in front of the right people. I think that's very important as well.
You do your own Facebook marketing?
I do all my marketing. I hired someone else to do my marketing. I thought I was just going to talk about dads and weight loss today, but it's about everything,
yeah,
right?
Everything, yeah. The show is about everything.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And it was the worst financial month I ever had. And this marketing company is still doing the whole huge opportunity thing. You probably know about that, right? Huge opportunity. I'm looking for 10 people who want to transform their health and fitness so they can not only look but feel great.
Yeah.
I bet you most of the people listening to this have probably got the advert running right now,
yeah,
okay?
Right now, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, that is old school, okay? It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
When that first came out, people were running that and then get people on a call, cold, didn't even know who you are, and then you might close 1 out of 10, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd be on the phone all day and you'd hate your life. But that, people are more aware now, like that stuff doesn't really work these days. You know, you've got to give value first to people now.
Yeah.
But if you want to create a relationship, if you want to, you know, don't think about just the front end thing. Give value first and then have a conversation and then see if you can help someone.
Wow.
Otherwise, you're just taking. And you can't make money if you're just going to take from people. You know, you've got to give. So,
to get.
yeah. And then give some more once you've got.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not going to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like these ideas from you, really. That transformation. We're going to do something together.
Sure.
Yeah. One last question. I call it power question, or the last message. Just pretend for a while. If you had only 5 seconds to live, what message would you deliver to your kids that they would remember till the rest of their lives? Something that will stay with them, that would stay with them.
The only person that would ever hold you back in life is you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Stefano. It was a great pleasure to have you on my show. Looking forward to do something with you. And you guys watch the show and create the life worth living in all areas of your life. Go online and follow this guy, Stefano Chiriaco, and I will put link below the video and you will get all the information. And see you soon.